Welcome back. Thanks very much to the embassy team here for such a lovely lunch and a wonderful morning. Thank you, Flavia, for keeping the seat warm for me. I think there were some fantastic discussions. I was furiously taking notes. I think a lot of what we talked about this morning will start to inform our discussions this afternoon. There were certainly some common themes that, despite the efforts to always create discussions that are presenting variety, and we talked about strategy and focus and planning. I think, Karen, you really were on point, and John complimented that on the importance of focus and strong governance and policies. So we will touch on the planning component. I also thought it was interesting, we'll see if we can bring it up when we talk about citizen engagement, the role of engaging citizens and our new citizens, looking at our immigration policies, welcoming newcomers and integrating them into our communities, I thought was interesting, and we'll see if we can return to that discussion. And not surprisingly, when you start talking about smart cities, the idea of digital technologies and the role that they play, I think for a lot of people outside of the realm of expertise, when we think of smart cities, a lot of it, the initial thoughts are around technology. My smartphone, my devices, and I think that we can't ignore in 2015 the role that technology will play for us moving forward. So we'll continue that this afternoon. As the program notes, the theme for this afternoon is on digital and innovation and the role that technologies play. I do want to bring citizen engagement into that. I think it was clear this morning that we can't simply focus on cities without looking at the reason that we're here and who makes up those cities. So some of the elements we'll look into are digital technologies. I do want to return to the data question that seemed to pop up from all the sessions this morning, and what is the role for us when we look at data? How do we look at data? Are we at a point yet where we know what to do with data? And certainly from, as someone who works in a federal government looking at change, do we have the internal capacity and knowledge to be able to deal with the information that we have and how we need to work differently? And to wrap up, it wouldn't be a smart city or a technology-oriented theme without looking into the future. So we will take some time to gaze into the smart city crystal ball and look ahead to 2030. I was speaking with Jennifer at lunch, and I know that Toronto has a 2031 plan, so she's got an extra year on everybody. But we do want to look at 2030. While it's 15 years away, I think that that's really a short time frame when we start looking at the plans we have in place and how we want to move forward. And I'd like to ask all of our panelists their views on where they think smart cities will be, and more importantly, what we need to do in order to help get there. So I'm very pleased to welcome back to the panel John, Karen, and Jennifer, our Canadian contingent that is now being well balanced by our Italian contingent. So I'd like to welcome Paolo Castiglieri from the city of Genova, and also Alessandro, who's joining us from the Resilient Cities Project of Rome. Very interesting things, and I'd like to just offer Alessandro and Paolo a couple of minutes to explain their role in their own cities and their projects to set the scene there, and then we'll return to the panel for questions. So Paolo, over to you.